glory of the world. Imagine cupping a single radiant stone in your palm, a stone so alive with light it feels as though it is breathing. With it, fevers break, iron becomes gold, and every locked door of nature swings open. This is not a prop from a fantasy novel. It is the legendary glory of the world, the philosopher's stone of old alchemy. Across deserts, libraries, and secret workshops, generations chased it. Now, settle in and hear their story, told simply in plain words, the way a fireside tale should be heard. Long before microscopes and chemistry sets, wise women and men studied the sky, the soil, and the turning of seasons. They noticed patterns. Dawn mirrored dusk, roots mirrored branches, birth mirrored death. From these reflections, they coined a maxim: what is above is like what is below. To them, it was not poetry. It was a blueprint. If heaven and earth echoed each other, perhaps the whole universe sprang from one hidden source. Find that source, they reasoned, and you could guide the forces that weave the world. They spoke of a first substance, a kind of cosmic clay containing every possibility: heat and cold, wet and dry, rising air and resting earth. Picture a clear drop of water that somehow already holds the memory of mountains, oceans, and starlight inside it. From that single drop, the stone would be coaxed into being. The old texts give the stone a family. The sun is its father, the moon its mother, the wind its bearer, and the earth its nurse. Strange language, perhaps, but consider what they meant. The sun, with steady warmth, starts the transformation. The moon lends a cooler rhythm, drawing tides and emotions alike. The wind lifts vapors, carrying flavors of sky and cloud. The earth provides a cradle, quiet, dark, and nourishing. Joined in harmony, these four parents awaken the sleeping powers inside that cosmic clay. To work with the stone, you must first split your material gently, as butter melts away from buttermilk. The light, airy part rises. Alchemists called it volatile water. The heavy, solid part sinks. They called it fixed earth. Separate them with patience, never force, because violence scares the life out of the mixture. Then, just as carefully, you reunite them. Like two halves of a broken key coming together, they lock into something new. Think of a baker folding a tiny pinch of yeast into a whole mound of dough. He does not dump in the entire jar. He sprinkles a little, waits, and watches the dough swell. So too, the volatile spirit must soak slowly into the resting body until every crumb is leavened. Or picture a hen on her eggs. She does not blast them with fire. She gives a slow, steady warmth that turns clear albumin into living chicks. That tender heat is the alchemist's secret furnace. As the two halves marry, colors bloom. First dull black like midnight soil, then gray, then a sudden peacock swirl, greens shifting to blues and reds. Finally, a dazzling white shines through, followed by a deep, translucent red. These aren't random tints, they are mile markers showing that the ingredients are knitting themselves into something alive. During this time, the stone seems to climb to heaven and fall back to earth. Moist vapors rise, cool, and drip back down. Each cycle washes the mixture, trims away impurities, and lets it drink in the finest virtues of air and ground. From a modern viewpoint, you might call it repeated distillation and recombination, but the ancients preferred the poetry of cloud and rain. Why all this trouble? Because when spirit finally becomes body and body becomes spirit, no seam remains between them. The result is a single, astonishing substance that acts like a universal seed. Drop a few grains onto rusty iron, and the iron ripens into shining gold. Dissolve a speck in clean water, and sickness loses its grip on the flesh. The stone slips through the tiniest cracks of gemstones, metals, and even the human heart, strengthening, coloring, perfecting. Yet the sages warned, do not read our words with merely literal eyes. Many mocked the old books, calling them riddles or outright frauds, but the failures belonged to impatient readers. Nature, they said, is the real text. Watch dew bead on a leaf. See how it lifts at dawn and falls at dusk. That is the stone in miniature. Watch sap rise in spring and roots thicken in autumn. That is above mirrored below. Follow those lessons and the books become clear. The stone is precious, yes, but its greatest treasure is understanding. Gold can pay debts, but wisdom dissolves fear. A healed body is wonderful, yet a mind that knows its place in the cosmic echo is freer still. To hold the stone is to feel the universe breathing with you, through you, as you. So how does a seeker begin? Start small. Collect dew at sunrise. Observe how gentle warmth draws mist from herbs, or how slow cooling lets crystals form in a jar of salt water. Practice patience. Nature never hurries, yet nothing is left undone. Treat your tools with respect. Clean glassware, a steady flame no hotter than a candle, and notes written in plain words you will remember. As one master quipped, if you cannot keep your study tidy, you will never coax order from chaos. Along the way, beware 3 common traps. 1. Greed. If fast riches are your sole aim, frustration will cloud your judgment long before gold appears. 2. Disbelief. Mockery slams shut the imagination. Without imagination, you cannot sense the subtle cues that guide the work. 3. Haste. A rushed hand overheats the mixture, and a single scorch can undo months of careful progress. The rewards, though, are worth every calm hour. Stories tell of cripples who walked, of blighted fields turned lush, of metals refined beyond jewelers' dreams. Yet the sages always end with the same quiet smile. The stone's outer marvels are but shadows of the inner change. For if you can transform clay into crystal, might you not also turn fear into courage, confusion into clarity, and loneliness into love? When your stone is ready, small, red, and glowing as though lit from inside, store it with reverence. A grain will last a lifetime. A pebble may serve a nation. Touch it, and you may feel a gentle pulse, as though it remembers its parentage of sun, moon, wind, and earth. Used wisely, it shines brighter than crowns and heals deeper than medicine. Used foolishly, it slips away like sand, for it cannot abide violence or vanity. And so the tale circles back to its opening wonder. A single stone, alive with more power than thunder, waiting for hands patient enough to greet it, hearts humble enough to learn from it, and minds keen enough to recognize that each breath, each sunrise, each stirring seed already whispers its secret. What is above is like what is below. The great marvels hide inside the small. Seek gently, work faithfully, and the glory of the world will awaken in your own 2 hands.